Join us as we tour a set of connecting ocean view staterooms on board Celebrity Beyond, coming up on Talking Cruise. So here we are at room 3179 on board Celebrity Beyond, and I'm going to give you a room tour. Welcome. So this is a category 01, which is a prime ocean view stateroom located on deck number 3. I do have the connecting room as well, and I will show you it's a little bit different configuration. So when you first enter the room, you do on this particular layout, you do have your bathroom door to the right. And then over here we do have the thermostat and lighting controls. I actually really like the way that Celebrity has designed this, and we've seen this spill over into some Royal Caribbean ships as well. But you do have full electronic control of your heating and cooling. You also have complete off for illumination. You have a middle sort of dimmed setting, and then you also have the full brightness. And then they do have these presets as well, so you've got morning, evening, movie, and sleep, and they'll change the lighting accordingly. And we will get to the bathroom in just a moment. So over here next to the door, you do have your set of cubbies. Now there's three different doors, but as you can see, it all opens up into one continuous storage cabinet. And there's not a whole lot of storage in this room, so any little bit that you have is very welcome. Now wrapping around the corner, we do come to the actual closet in the room. So this has a two-fold door, and you can see you've got a little spot here for some hanging clothes. This is not a full length, so maybe some shirts and whatnot, and then you have a much taller section on the side. You got a few little cubbies here. This one has the very tiny in-room safe, and then a couple of pullouts as well for some more storage. And then I usually like to put some of my bags that I'm using throughout the voyage. This is my camera set up here and my wife's handbag. And then obviously the luggage we will stow underneath the bed. You also have a full-length mirror, but I really don't like the location of this. It would have been better to have that inside the room because it is on the door hinge, and it will move as the ship is moving. Now coming into the main living area, we do have this room set up with the sofa near the door, the bed by the window. This is actually my preferred layout for rooms on board ships. I like the bed near the window. And with Celebrity, you can actually see this in the deck plans because there's a little notch out, as you can see here, where the beds go. So if you see this and it's up against the window section, then you know that you have the window, the bed near the window. So this room is set up as a double occupancy room. So you do have the chaise lounge. It's quite large and comfortable. So nice place to kind of sit so you're not having to be on the bed the whole time. And then as we move down through here, we do have the king size bed. I really love the pops of orange on board this ship. That's my favorite color. So nice to see that. And then over here on the right side of the bed, you do actually have the table lamp. You also have a power redundant lighting control for the entire room, and then there are 2 USB ports, which is very welcome. You can never have enough of those. This room also does have the telephone for the room and a couple of smaller cubbies below as well. So again, the bed is a little bit recessed into the wall, and then it is right up against the ocean view window here. There's always going to be a few trade-offs. Having the bed close to the window, there is very little space to actually get between the bed and the window and the wall, so not a whole lot of space here. And then on this side there is another night table. It does have the lamp. It has a couple of cubbies, but there are no USB ports or power ports on this side. And here is the window, and it is a really nice view. We're on deck 3, as I said, so you're high enough above the water, but not too high that you can't appreciate the rippling waves. And then it's a very deep inset window, so you do actually have this little spot here that you can throw a couple of cushions in and actually chill out here, read a book, or just watch the world go by as you're sailing. Then over here, right in front of the bed, which is where I like it to be, is the large flat screen TV. They've got a really good interactive system on board Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, and a lot of great video on demand content. So as you can see, there's a lot of titles here that are free, and they have it broken down by genre. So here's some family movies, thrillers. Once you're in the actual section, you can scroll. There are quite a few titles in each of the genres to choose from. Now over here we do have the sort of makeup or desk area, and what's kind of cool about this is there is a full-length mirror over here on the wall, and it does, appear blocked right now with the desk, but this desk can actually be converted. So if you slide the chair out, you can actually slide this guy back in, watch the remote there, and then you have access to your full-length mirror with no obstruction. And then you can just slide it back out again, and then you have a little more storage. A really nice touch that they've added since they've been sailing the Edge class ships is there's this little charging box. So it's got a European, a couple of US ports, and 2 USB ports. And you can actually just have all the devices plugged in, and then there's these little notches over here where you can run the cables and keep the devices outside while they're being charged. Very kind of clever design. And then below from that, we do have the in-room fridge, and a little bit larger than I've seen on some other ships. They do come sort of stocked a little bit here with some sodas. The 2 larger bottles of wine are ours. A couple of cans of beer, and then a couple of smaller bottles of wine as well. So these will be at a cost. You can also have them to remove these from the fridge if you don't want them, and give yourself a little more storage for more wine, water, or any nibbles that you might bring back from the buffet. And then on the other side, we do have a set of 3 drawers. Not too deep, but at least they do have some spots for you to put more of your clothing, because really this is pretty much it for this particular cabin, other than the small ones that are inside the closet. Okay, now I'm going to take you through the pass-through. As I said, I do have the connecting rooms, and I just want to show you the difference here. So as I had said earlier, when you have the rooms will be alternating. So this has the beds up near the door, it has the sofa near the window, and these particular beds are set up as 2 singles instead of having 1 large king. This is for my kids, so this is their preference. And then you do seem to have a little bit more room, obviously, near the window because the sofa is here, but it has the same setup with that nice view out to the water. This is actually my second time in this category of room on an Edge class ship, and I was kind of hoping that they would have made some changes to the way they actually designed the connecting rooms. So as you can see here, that's the door to the hallway. Right up against that is the 2 sets of doors for the connector. But as you can see, this door will actually open into the front door, the main door to the room. So if they had simply hinged this door the other way, there's a huge piece of wall right here. It even actually has an inset. And if you're listening, Celebrity, common sense would have said you have the door opening the other way. I don't know why they did this. So if we want to have these doors open, and that's why we book connecting rooms to be, have the access to our kids' room, we actually have to have one of the doors or both doors blocking the exit to the room, which really doesn't seem like a great safety way to handle things as far as being able to get out in an emergency situation. But nonetheless, this is how they have it set up here on Celebrity Edge class ships. So basically that is how the rooms will look, both of them wedged like that. And then over here near the door we do have the bathroom. And kudos to Celebrity to offering guests, even in these categories, a very nice size bathroom, much larger than what you would find on most ships. I can even say that on some ships, the suite bathrooms are not even this large. So there's a very nice size mirror and vanity sink area, very large. Over here on the side, you do have some shelves for putting some of your toiletries. Ample space in front and around the toilet area. You also have some storage below the sink as well. And then there is a drawer right below, and that has your hair dryer and just some supplementary towels. And more storage on the other side as well. Another area where these rooms really excel is the large shower enclosure. It does have a nice curved glass door. It creates more space for you inside, and just really nice design. It has the faux marble look, and if you can see from the floor size there, definitely enough room for pretty much anyone or more than one. I do wish there was a reinforced shower head, but the shower wand and the controls are plenty fine in here. And like most cruise lines, Celebrity Cruises is doing away with the disposable toiletries, so you do have these refillable bottles for shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel. And if you are in need, there is a shave bar as well.